Arrowheads. Welcome back to Queen Consolidated, a Southgate Media Group podcast dedicated to all things related to the Arrow over on the CW. I am Lilith, and joining me is
Phil Parrish.
So, in part two of our summer hiatus, we are doing Quiver number 2, A Long Time No See. I'm really excited. I love revisiting Quiver because every time I reread it, I remember something more awesome. And I go, Quiver not only brought back, Oliver, but he also brought back Stanley and his monster. And he took away, like, all the childish things and totally twisted it.
Mm.
And that was like really shocking because it would just seem like how we were talking about X-Men Apocalypse with Mr. Sinister's origins. That's kind of what Stanley and his monsters originally kind of like. So I always, every time I think back to that, I get to the part where we meet Stanley Dover, I'm just like, oh yeah, it was like a children's strip. That's how it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
I found that out later on. Like the first time I read this, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. I was just really surprised from Kevin Smith, like making this is kind of a really dark story, honestly. And he's like he does comedy. He's a really jovial kind of guy. You just wouldn't expect something like that from him. And I think that's why I really enjoy Quiver. He just really rose above everybody's expectations.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not to denigrate his work, but I think he does a lot. His work, he
It's
does a lot
stoner
more with
comedy.
other people's. Yeah, but he does a lot more with other people's properties, especially like the DC stuff, because you can tell he's a really big fan of it.
Yeah.
But there's like a lot. There's way more, I think, in issue 2 than there was even in issue 1.
Oh yeah,
We
because we
kind of got all.
get Dearden's first appearance.
Yeah, and we finally got like this is like the first like full appearance of Oliver back as the Green Arrow, because he really didn't show up until like the last page of the last issue, and he was like all homeless and yeah.
I really enjoy these covers too. By the way, it's just I like the artistic style that's depicted on these covers.
Oh yeah, like the painting, yeah.
Honestly, if I could figure out a way, if I was better with Photoshop, this could be like a cover. If I could get rid of some of this the DC thing in the back, and then the little stupid code that they used to have. Remember the little white tag instead of the other thing that they used to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyway, let's get started. We have some characters in this issue: Batman, Stanley Dover, Freddie Dreyfuss, Marty, Richard Doe, Roscoe, Tova Hernandez Carlson, and the villain is Star City Slayer. Please, no spoilers, Phil. Because it's a twist.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, basically we open with Star City Councilman Freddie Dreyfuss talking to Mia Dearden's pimp, Richard. And he's like, yeah, send her over to my house for some fun. And I'm just like, is this Swamp Thing? Because this is starting to get a little weird. Oh, thought only Swamp Thing could do that. Anyway, like she likes, at least right off the bat, Mia is a self-rescuing princess because she basically slices the dude's hand open, and then Green Arrow comes in and like starts beating up all the goons.
Oh yeah. Old Oliver's back.
Yup. And then like Mia is about to, like, her pimp's like, oh crap, I gotta kill you so Green Arrow doesn't come after me. I'm like, don't you think if you actually killed her that would make him more inclined to? Just me, maybe.
Not the sharpest tool in the shed now.
Exactly. And then, like, my favorite part of the story is when we, like, later on, we see that Ollie's moved in with this guy, Stanley Dover, and I'm just like, this is an elderly man that he's independently wealthy and he wants to be your benefactor. Okay.
Mm.
Creepy, not creepy?
Yeah, it's well,
Confirmed bachelors? Like, I wasn't too sure where we were going with this right off the bat.
yeah, but you know, he's rich, gay, and happy. Doesn't mean he's a killer.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe Oliver just thought he was a little attracted to him. That's all.
Oh God, it was just like I don't know, just like it was weird. I was just like, okay, he wants you to take up the mantle of Green Arrow again. Okay, and then it's like, meanwhile in Gotham City, Batman's in the Batcave going, dee, 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 dee. Aha! I think Oliver Queen is still alive.
No.
I just loved how we cut to Gotham though. Seriously, it really reminded me of a straight up Justice League Friends cartoon.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. I mean, what was this? 2001. This is the height of Batman, and
Yeah.
Kevin Smith's a big Batman fan.
Oh, duh. Just listen to his podcast, Batman on Batman.
Yeah, he named it Batman on Batman, even though he sometimes he doesn't even talk about Batman anymore on it.
Too obsessed with other things, and we all understand how that goes. But yeah, I just thought that was really funny. And then we cut back to Star City, and we see that there's this serial child killer known as the Star City Slayer. And I go, that is a kick butt name for a band.
Star Cities.
If I ever start a band up again, I think I'm gonna name it Star City Slayers.
What's better, Star City Slayers or Stanley and his monsters?
Stanley and his monsters still gives me nightmares. Actually, so Star City Slayer's a little bit better because then it can also be like a slash Buffy reference. But anyway, we see him feeding the vial of blood to a creature. And it's like in this like glass cage, and I'm like, okay, things just got weird officially. I mean, I thought it was weird when his mother was still alive in the forest and she was basically a forest fairy. This is weird. Do you know the arc that I'm referring to?
Yeah. Right around the time of what is that? Ready to Stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was. I didn't think it could get any weirder at that point, and they totally like out of left field. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, did that really go anywhere? I can't even remember.
Oh, it went somewhere. Nowhere anybody else wanted to go, but it went somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, all in all, I was just like, okay, like they had a lot of layers in this issue, a lot of stuff going on, and surprisingly, everything gets incorporated really fast too. That's another thing about this arc. This arc has a pretty fast pace.
Oh yeah, especially this. Like I said, this issue we got a lot. This issue, even compared to last issue.
So.
And look who's on the cover for next issue. Your Buddy Black Manta.
I know.
Oh yeah, what?
This is like a rap album.
Make an appearance.
Every like special guest appearance.
The return of Green Arrow featuring Batman, Aquaman, and maybe other Justice Leaguers. Yeah, Superman.
Oh, really? That's what it felt like. So who was your favorite character?
Probably Oliver. Because, I mean, we saw a little bit of Mia, but we really didn't get her full story. And, I mean, we didn't know Stanley was what he was at the time. But basically, most of the other people were bad guys.
Actually, I liked Mia immediately because, what is it? I think it's my favorite line in this issue comes from her where she's like, I'm 15, Richard. I should be in high school wondering what I'm gonna wear tomorrow, not worrying that you're gonna slit my throat for messing up your business.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Touche, little girl, touche. Where are your parents?
Yeah, I do like when she cuts them.
Yes.
She cuts the in between his thumb and pointer finger. Yeah,
That looks so painful.
that's that just screams Lilith Hellfire move to me.
No, it's more like the throat of the eyes, but
Or something else.
Sissima or Kamagra, it's to get things done. It's not to be pretty and prolong a fight for fight choreography for TV shows. Get yourself safely away from the situation. But yeah. Do you have did any dialogue stick out to you in this issue?
Probably. I don't think so much in this issue as maybe like the next issue because as we find out later on, Oliver thinks it's a few years before what it actually is.
Oh yeah.
Like there's like Stanley has like the old computer sitting there, and Oliver still thinks it's like high tech.
I did like the action sequences the most out of this issue. That's what titillated me the most.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like
you see that exploding.
A few more arrows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's in what like a penthouse or something. I mean, it's not like he has a lot of room, but we did get the exploding arrow. I mean, you see that you see that arrowhead on it, and I know you're probably like, yes, that's not Connor. Yes.
I told you, I only have beef with solo Connor. Connor's bearable with other people, but they just had no business making him take up that mantle. Absolutely no business.
Well, I think they kind of tried. They were following a pattern, Wally West worked as the Flash, and then they brought in Kyle Rayner to replace Hal Jordan. So they're like, okay, how do we
well, that was
spice up?
That was not a good decision on the Kyle Rayner part. Wally West is debatable. I mean, I like Wally, but Barry's my fave.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but
they retreaded a lot with Wally too.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I can say about Connor Hawke. They didn't do a lot of retreading. They just kind of dwelled in the whole literal, like, big shoes to fill thing. And never really moved past that. That was my big problem with Connor Hawke. But in different iterations, he's a lot better. Like the one they did for Convergence.
Yes.
That one was really cool. But, yeah. So, do you have a favorite panel?
Yeah, it probably. What page is that? Probably the one where he. I don't know. I was gonna say the title page where he's basically ready to stab. What is that? The councilman with the arrow. But I kind of like the. Kind of like 2 pages later too, when he's like telling Mia to put her clothes back on, he's pulling the arrow out of his quiver.
Is that a metaphor, a euphemism?
No, I was just about to say, I said quiver.
At least this Oliver remembers what it is.
What?
Bows, arrows, quivers.
Well, he's not busy making a movie either.
Oh, there is a issue actually where he is on set with Robin Hood movie.
Yeah.
I like that one. We'll get around to that eventually. That's a really good one actually.
We have this summer.
Exactly. But Quiver is 10 parts long.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think my favorite is the last one and then the first one. Actually, I like how things are kind of, I don't know, like they don't feel the need to bookend things like a lot of these big maxi series try to do.
Yeah.
Get you hyped for the next issue, if you weren't already, with the return of Oliver Queen.
Yeah, I know. In the old costume and everything.
Exactly. So what would you give this issue?
Let's say. It's kind of hard because it's like, uh, probably give it a B plus. It
So,
was kind. It. Well, why? What did you give it?
oh no, so like I'm trying to figure like 4 arrows out of 5, 3 arrows out of 5.
Oh, okay. No, okay. I'd say 4 out of 5.
Okay, that's good. No, I agree with you, but mine is more like a 4.5 because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I think it's only a retrospect. I think if you're like a first time reader of Quiver, like and you don't or you don't have any investment in the character of Oliver Queen, it might not be as exciting for you. Where some things, some resurrection arcs, you might not be familiar with the character, but it's like, oh snaps, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's how I kind of was the first time. Because, like I said, I started reading Green Arrow with Quiver, so I was trying to remember how I felt that first time before I went back and reread everything. And
It definitely holds up in the rereads though. Like I said, I find something
oh yeah,
every time. So, and this
and I
art
think
is just spectacular too. So,
oh yeah, well yeah, Phil Hester, but yeah, and I think I appreciate it, but I do appreciate it more now that I've read the old stuff.
oh yeah, definitely. If you guys expect us to do year one, maybe next year, probably not. Just gonna let you guys know that. I waffle back and forth on year one. I go, well, it's
Hmm.
not the worst thing they've ever done, but it ain't the best thing they ever done.
Mm. I
I
mean,
mean,
there's plenty of stuff we can do before that, like Longbow Hunters or
exactly. Exactly. Actually, I want to do some of Percy's run too, if we can get
okay.
to it. So, yep, pretty much that's all we have for you guys. If you guys are reading Quiver for the first time or rereading along with us, please do send in your thoughts to queen.consolidated@gmail.com, or you can tweet us at QC_SMG pod. You can leave a comment on the facebook.com/Queen Consolidated. Is that all the ways you can contact us? Yes.
Facebook, Twitter, yeah, email, yeah.
I was gonna say Tumblr, but I'm deleting the Tumblr because I'm over Tumblr. But I am. Too many Elasticity shippers. So they bombard me. They do. I'm just over it. So anyway, I guess it's time. I want to remind you guys to check out SouthgateMediaGroup.com. That's where you can find our list of 90 plus and always growing podcasts. We also have blogs to read, and you can also, it's really super easy ways to donate to us on the page if you're in a generous mood to help keep this network up and running. So that looks like personal shameless plugs and self promotion. You can go first, Phil.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure what you're doing. Okay. You can always discuss anything DC Comics, Marvel. Yeah, my email is nightwingpdp@gmail.com. My Twitter is @nightwingpdp. All the social media is basically Nightwing PDP, and you can find all my blogs and podcasts at philparrish.wordpress.com.
Awesome. So, I hope you guys are enjoying being stuck without Arrow for 5 months. Hopefully, you're not on a hellish island, though. So, until next week.
Queen Consolidated, signing off.